Kotwani, Sip Eru, Sip Rajender, Sip Pankaj, Sip Sudeep, Sip Vinita, Sip Girish, Sip Tina, Sip Atmatre, Sip Yogini, Sip Krishna, Sip Krishan, Sip Sagai, Sip Ansul, Sip Raju, Sip Swati. And the rest of you, I can't see you on the call. Welcome. And today's subject, interesting subject. Why do we sometimes forget what we are thinking? And don't think this is not spiritual. You will get a spiritual connection soon. Why do we sometimes forget what we are thinking? Rutanu. Yes, please. Rutanu. Unmute. Shivoham Bolo.
Guruji, because we are not in consciousness, that is why we forget.
Okay, so what happens? When you're not in consciousness, what happens?
We get lost in our thoughts.
Beautiful. I didn't know that you're so much in consciousness, man. First answer is a sixer. Very good. Very good. Why do we sometimes forget what we are thinking? So tell me exactly what happens. SPC.
We get swayed away.
Bolo, explain please.
We get swayed away. We are in Earth, but we reach Mars in our thoughts.
Tell me, what exactly happens? When you're thinking something, why do you forget? What exactly happens?
Because that time we are thinking, but later on we are not able to focus what we thought. We are not in consciousness.
Your answer is right, but you're not able to explain. I don't know. So let us see. Let us go on to. I'm sure you'll get more. You'll get a flash. So let us ask Krishna. Yes, Krishna. Krishna, and then we have Kailash Kumar. And yes, Krishna. Okay, Kailash first, I believe. Yes, Kailash and then Krishna. Yes, Kailash.
Shivam Guruji.
Shivam, sir.
Due to our intellectual power, okay, our intellectual power to the other ideas, and due to that, the forget of one thing.
Okay. Okay, point noted. Krishna, please. Krishna, unmute, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we have not learned the skill of silencing our mind. We have switched on our scattered mind or chattering mind.
Yes.
So once in that quietude, in that stillness only, we can realize the consciousness, and then another dimension of our intellect will open up. And then I think we can remember with more clarity. And,
Otherwise, what happens? From your personal experience, what happens otherwise?
There is a speed of thought. It's so much of thought. We have switched on our thought, and then mind. We are not able to silence our mind. We are not in the present.
Beautiful. Very, very, very. Now I have a clear answer. Thank you. Very clear. Rutanu Agnesuna, very clear answer. Okay, if the speed of thought is so heavy, it's such a lot of thought, then what do? So many thoughts, so many thoughts, so many thoughts, so many thoughts. Then how can we remember? Because the memory is cluttered. And this has a tremendous effect on our spirituality, and that's what we are going to get to in the next session today, not tomorrow, but in the next level. But let me ask Samatma. Yes, Samatma, Yogini, and Rajendra. We have three more views.
Shivoham, sir.
Shiva.
Because we are not in consciousness, we are allowing our mind to clutter us with numerous thoughts, and we are not really able to catch what is going on because you're moving at such a fast speed. So we have to learn to still our mind. Then we will remember whatever is going on. So then the rate of thoughts become less.
Can you give me a practical example that happens in your life? Any of you? Samatma, starting with you.
When something happens which is unexpected, so many thoughts come up. Like, oh, this might have happened. This has happened. This has happened. And then we are not focused on a solution to the problem. So thoughts are just moving about. So if I still my mind at that time, I can get a solution to I mean, know
Yeah.
what I should actually do.
Yeah, but see, today we are talking of very simple, specific thing. Why do we forget what we are thinking? Suppose you want to do something. Oh, today I want to call a very important appointment and for somebody who asked me for a diet appointment, and suddenly after 3 days you remember, I didn't call that person. That person has sent me 3 messages, and I forgot to call that person from 3 days.
Because when I read that message from the person that please call me, I was not in consciousness. It did not register in my mind.
It did not register in your
In my, it didn't register in my intellect,
in your
consciousness.
in your
My mind is overacting now.
Now you're not able to give a silly answer because your mind is not letting you give a
Not
silly
letting-
answer. In your memory.
In my memory, yeah.
Which domain of our subtle body is remembers? Which domain? The mind, the intellect, or the memory?
The memory. Everything
So
is stored in the memory.
Yeah, so if you don't, if why is it that our memory is not remembering is the next question you have after Yogini. So yes, Yogini. See, so to understand
Thank you.
all this is to do with realization, to do with enlightenment. Don't think we are going away from the subject. Yogini.
Thank you.
Shiva, sir.
Sure.
I wanted to say that the mind bombards 50 thoughts at a minute. And this is where like we just go back and we forget what we have to remember at that moment. Because we are not able to.
So again, I'm
Sorry.
asking all of you, who can give a practical example? This will help the group a lot. A practical example.
Like this morning, like in my family itself, they told me something, but it did not register my mind because I was busy with some other work. And now when before the call, when I came to know, they said, we discussed this with you in the morning. Where were you? Why didn't you understand this?
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So we have got, thank you, Rajendra Pandit, Rumataji, Rutanu, Rekha. Yes.
Shivam Guruji,
Sure, sir.
because sometimes we don't think consciously. We keep mind in a wandering state and allow a lot of thoughts to enter the mind. And we can't remain focused to the particular subject which we
So what is the
which-
solution?
Okay, sir, pardon?
What is the solution?
Yes, we don't remain, let me please complete. We don't remain conscious that we are sick. Always, we have to remain always conscious that we are the super immortal force, so that we can calm our mind and calmly listen to everything. So that if we silence our mind or keep our mind calm because of the consciousness state, because of the living in pure consciousness, trying to live in, I don't say that we are living, trying to live in pure consciousness, we can keep our this mind calm, then only we can just
Somehow, I think all of you must try to keep the question in front of you. Keep the question once again, all of you, and try. Why do we sometimes forget what we are thinking? See, even the simple thing we are forgetting, even the question of the day we forget. So once again, I'm asking you all to please keep that in mind. Rumataji. And then I'm going to listen to some more opinions. Rumataji, why do we sometimes forget?
Guruji.
Namaskar.
Guruji, Shivam.
Bataiye.
Guruji, only yesterday example, practical example I can give you. When you asked the difference between God and self, you told me, okay, remember it for a minute. I will just ask you. And when you asked me, I was nil. But thank God. But
I
thank
remember.
God I became in consciousness, and again the answer came in my mind. So
Beautiful.
it is the work of the mind only.
Very good. See,
Only-
Rumataji is giving her own example in the Zoom call. When she was going to talk, I told her, catch the thought. Don't lose the thought I will come back to you in a moment. And when I went back to her in the next moment, I told her, and she was blank. And she told, I'm blank. I don't know. I'm blank. I'm lost. I can't remember what I was going to tell you. This happened yesterday.
Yes,
So
Guruji.
Rumata ji, ऐसे क्यों होता है? Why does it happen?
Guruji, mind distracts us from reality
Why?
because we are not in consciousness,
Why?
because of our ignorance.
No. So I want to give you today, I want to guide you all on a very practical thing. Before I go to the rest of the group, let me quickly give you all a small example. Okay? So I have one mobile. I have mobile A. In mobile A, I get thousands and thousands of messages, and I can say 10,000 photographs in that. I mean, forward, photograph, video, whatever you call it. When I try to find a picture in that thousands of photographs, it is practically impossible. I have another mobile, which is my private mobile, which none of you have the number. It is my Nirvana mobile. It is my private emergency mobile. There are hardly 30, 40, 50 photographs. If I want to find a photograph, the same photograph in that mobile, it doesn't take me more than 2 seconds or 3 seconds or 4 seconds to find it. It is just like Bliss. Bliss wants to put a nail polish, and Bliss keeps the nail polish on the top of her cupboard. And when Bliss wants the nail polish, she just picks it up. But if Bliss mixed that nail polish with 100 different colors, and then now she wants to find one out of the 100 nail polish, she cannot find it. Even though it comes in her hand, she cannot find it. There is so much clutter. When you want enlightenment, sometimes I ask you all a question. Don't you realize sometimes you all know the answer? How often it happens, I ask you all a question, you know the answer. It's a silly answer, the most silly answer, but you can't find it. Why? You are not able to find it. So, my dear friends, let us quickly understand where we are. I think was Bliko was on the line to say something. Yes, Bliko. Or did you forget what you were saying? Yes, Bliko.
No, I was thinking about practical example today itself I was talking with my father, right? And there was discussion going on, and the point of discussion was not that important, but it was, because normally, the person who is aged will go to the past, right? And he will try to discuss and try to drag you in the past. And I was literally dragged, and then I get up internally, thinking that my peace is disturbing. So because I am dragging with my mind, because when mind is in the command, you forget what you are supposed to be in that level of peace, which comes from the consciousness state. So I immediately closed my eyes in front of him. He was talking. I said, okay, Father, let's forget about past. Past is past. We cannot do anything. So I agree with you. Whatever you're saying is okay, but let's forget it. The negative things will not make us happy. So this is because of we are in the mind state, and that time we forget.
You can't remember, right? Sometimes you want to remember something important and you are not able to remember because there is so much clutter, there are so much thoughts, and this is exactly what everybody is saying, but everybody is saying in a different way. We want, even Rajendra ji was saying that we should go to a state of consciousness. Even Rajendra ji is saying the same thing. But only I reminded Rajendra ji, don't go away from the question. Why are we not able to remember? So
because we are not registering in our memory because of the mind state.
Correct. So this is what I told Samatma. She was not able to get the word memory. So now simple, we know memory. There is man, buddhi, chitta, ahankar. Mind, intellect, memory, and ego. Now, ego, of course, is a different part altogether. But the three aspects of the mind, the intellect, and the memory, we can't ignore. They are important aspects of the subtle body of the software. And we need to be aware of this if you want enlightenment. So, okay, good. I'm happy. Let us move to the next person. Sankalp, Rekha Parvani, Rekha, Google, Vijay Kumar. One by one. Come on. Sankalp.
Hello, sir.
Yes,
Uh,
Sankalp.
Sir, I think it depends on person to person. I think so because my father is like forgetful a lot. Simple things he forget, and on the other hand, I remember that yeah, today's meeting and I have to do this, I have to do that. So first of all, it's like personality. It depends on personality. First thing, and second thing is it also depends upon practice. It is like a muscle. Like on the few weeks back when I first joined your call at 8 p.m. The next day I forgot to join because it was not in my memory that I have to join at 8 p.m. But then when I started, recalling again and again, I have to join next day, I have to join next day. Then immediately before 8 p.m., the thought entered in my mind that I have to join. So if we think about it a lot, then we will not forget it.
So, okay, but we are not getting to a specific point on this, right? My point is you're saying it just can't be a personality. What is causing that personality? What is creating that personality? It is your thoughts, it is your memory, it is your consciousness. Okay, I listen to you. So that's your point of view. Rekha Parvani. I'm not making a comment because many people want to speak. Rekha Parvani.
Shivoham AiR.
Shivoham.
It's because we have filled our memory with lots of junk.
Beautiful. That's the next step. Beautiful. Because our memory is so much full of junk, the monk memory is not available. That's why something, a person who is of high consciousness, a person who has refined, I'm using the word refined thoughts, a person whose memory is not cluttered, that person is very alert. You are very alert because your memory is not cluttered. Some people's lives are such a mess. Some people's lives are so messy. They can't live a peaceful life. How can they live a peaceful life? You can't live a peaceful life because you're so cluttered. Your thoughts are cluttered. Your consciousness is cluttered. Your memory is cluttered. Your life is in a mess. Where's the question of enlightenment? Where's the question of peace of mind? There's no question. So, good, Rekha. Rekha's point is good. The next person, yes, Administrator. Vijay Kumar.
Pranam Guruji.
Yes, namaskar. Boliye, sir.
Namaskar. Sir, at that time, the cognitive mind fails to recognize that particular point at that time.
Why? When you're coming with some high fonda definition of cognitive mind, you explain.
Fails to recognize it.
In our group, there is no mind only. There is cognitive mind. What is cognitive mind?
Cognition is the first introduction, and afterwards we remind it that is recognition.
From where do you cognize or recognize? From where?
From our mind only. A different faculty of mind.
Recognize. Recognize means what?
Recognize what is that already cognized?
Where that cognition is registered where?
In the mind only. Our
mind. No. In the memory.
Memory.
In the memory, not in the mind. The mind does not have any cognition powers. The power of cognition or recognition is in the memory.
Memory is also, the files of memory is also in the mind only.
That is okay. Good, Vijay Kumar. So that's another discussion whether memory and mind are same or different. Chidanand. See, today, let me tell you one thing. One moment, Chidanand. See, Vijay Kumar and those of you who are a little unclear, let me tell you one thing. Today, we have a clear discussion. Why do we sometimes forget what we are thinking? Can anybody deny this? Can anybody deny that we are thinking something, we forget it? No. Why? Because we are bombarded by thoughts. Thought. Because of thought, we forgot God. Because of thought, you forgot God. Because of thought, you forgot. Because there was too much clutter in your memory. The memory is full. How often you try to record a video in your mobile phone or take a snap and the message comes memory full? You get or not? Memory full, you comes memory full. What does it mean? Sometimes I'm recording a video halfway through, they say memory full. Tada, my video gets cut halfway through. Yeah, because my memory is full. If my memory is full, the memory is not refusing to record anything further. So, my dear friends, when our memory becomes full, it's cluttered, how can we, what Vijay Kumar said, cognize? How can we recognize? How can we discriminate when what do you call this, Sudeep? RAM or ROM? Or what do you call this? Which memory is which we use for operating the system? Sudeep, you know, you're the technical guy. ROM or RAM? Sudeep Bhargava, before we go to Siddharth.
RAM, sir. RAM.
What is it?
RAM.
What is RAM?
RAM.
Means?
RAM is random access memory. So if the RAM of the computer is slow, it will be slow in responding to the instructions.
And ROM?
ROM is read-only memory or accessing. But ROM is not the one which is going to affect this particular process. That is I'm sure of.
Okay, so it's I'm not technically qualified, so I'm asking Sudeep, who's the engineer of the group. Okay, good, thank you. Chidan, now your time. Chidanand sir.
Shivam Guruji.
Shivam sir.
So Chitta is basically a reservoir of memory. And actually thoughts come out one by one. Now, if you bundle your thoughts, it becomes a mind. Now the question is, why do we forget? It's because we are mindful and not mindful of what we are thinking. And that is basically the activity of the intellect. If we are just emotionally getting charged and the thought and just go with the flow of your thoughts, you are making mind full. And naturally, when the mind is full, you cannot cognize anything. So once you use the intellect and you are focused and you have power to control the flow of your thoughts, as we say in Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi, and we practice this, so naturally then one by one the thoughts can flow and you are very focused. You are mindful of what type of thoughts are coming from your chitta, and you naturally in that situation you are very focused. You cannot forget. Whether it is thinking or whether you're playing tennis also, whatever games you're doing. But that mindful is always creating a forgetfulness.
I landed in Singapore. And in this mobile phone, I saw this hole. Here. This hole came because I realized that this
stylus,
it had fallen off. Now, I am in Singapore and my phone has another phone pen, another stylus. Now I went into the mode of consciousness. I shut off thought.
Yes.
And in the last 12 hours, I went back scene by scene where my phone has fallen. Because every time your phone falls, the stylus becomes loose.
This
is my experience.
Hey, same here.
And I asked my 4 people in Bangalore, I called and said, well, Mr. 1, Mr. 2, Mr. 3, Mr. 4, please check in space A, space B, space C, space D where my phone fell. And in exactly 3 minutes, they found the stylus. Exactly 3 minutes. This would be impossible if I was in my achievement state. I would not have the patience to ever recall this situation. And this example I'm giving you, Rumataji gave the example yesterday. My dear friends, when we are not in this state of consciousness, when we are in this state of thought, when we are caught, we cannot use our intellect, we cannot discriminate, we cannot get enlightened, we cannot realize the truth, we cannot be in peace of mind. So try, what am I trying to get you all in today's discussion? I'm trying to get you all to that point, to cut the clutter in your life. What are you doing to cut the clutter in your life? I don't know how many of you have archived chats in your WhatsApp. There will be some chats that are active. I did not know this up till about 4 weeks back. I have about 1,000 chats. In one phone, out of that 1,000 chats, I archived 950. I archived 950 chats. It means I am only watching 50 chats. 950, I took it out of my system. That means otherwise, every message, ting tong, ting tong, ting tong. Today I was in Singapore in an MRT. They call it MRT, the metro train. And I looked at about 12 people. 12 people were sitting in a line. And what was the one common thing in the 12 people? Anybody can tell me? You know
Looking
what
at
was
mobile.
common? All 12 people had mobile in their hand. All the 12 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, who's Google Pixel? Google Pixel. Who's that? Yes, Google Pixel. Please switch on your video if you have to ask a question, please, if you can. Otherwise, ask in audio. We'll try to answer you. Google Pixel. Google Pixel 6a. We'll go to the next. Rekha. Rekha is with, yes, Rekha.
Shivomer,
Shivam.
thoughts come from SIP, and how we forget is when SIP wants us to forget, we forget.
Wrong. Thoughts do not come from SIP. So come back with clarity. Thoughts do not come from SIP. Okay? Rutanu.
Guruji, we focus on some unimportant things which are not required.
Why?
So
why?
Too much of data is there in our mind.
Why?
And one more thing, we are not in the present. We think of the past and we think
Why?
of the
No,
future.
no. Why? Answer my question. Why? Why is so much bad data? Why we don't? We have got so much clutter. Why we think go to the past? Why? For what?
Because we don't remain consciousness and our intellect. We don't use our intellect.
Why you don't? Why? It means we are fool. No, we are foolish. No. We are creating stress in our life. We have no peace. One person came to me and said, "You know, Master, I have no peace of mind." Then I asked the person, "Tell me, who is causing the stress and anxiety and mess in your life?" That
We
person said,
ourselves.
the most precious thing in life is peace. And we are making our peace into pieces. In the end, we will die of heart attack. We will die of heart attack. Yeah.
The mazdoor who is doing work in making building or doing work in the building has a much peaceful sleep on the road, and we are having all comforts in life. Then also we don't have that much peaceful.
You know why? You're not having the peace because you are letting your mind be full of clutter. Your mind is so cluttered. Your mind is so full of thoughts that you're not able to be. Everybody said it in different ways, but basically you're all right. Whoever said it in the beginning, right? We have no consciousness. Why we don't have this consciousness? There's so much thought. What's happening because of that? Our memory is full. Our memory is full of junk. Our life, I'm telling you, we are running like mad people. We are running like mad people. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, like mad people. How can?
And we are somehow not valuing what we have. What we don't have, we will run for that.
that is the story of the beggar in the gutter. पता है ना वो beggar एक coin था उसको राजा ने दिया gutter में गिर गया. Then he was very sad. Then Raja gave 2 coins. Okay, now you forget that coin. You take 2 coins and be happy. He kept 2 coins in his hand, still with the third, but he's putting in hand the gutter. No, I want that gutter ka coin. Why can't we be content, Rutanu? Why are we not content? Because of the mind. Because the mind is such a rascal. The mind will continue to grind us. It is drilling us and killing us. And we, like fools, we are permitting the mind to do it. Rutanu, if we don't realize, we don't count our blessings, we have everything, but we behave like we have nothing. Then how can we ever be content? How can ever there be fulfillment? Sometimes in life we have to learn. And that's why sometimes what I tell you all, because there is so much clutter in our life, The thoughts just disappear. Hey, some people tell me, I want to tell you something. I'll just come back. I'll just come back. I was just going to tell something to you. I will just come back. I will just come back. What you will come back?
Yeah, sometimes while speaking only we forget.
Array, sometimes what you're speaking, you know somebody's name 100 times, you've called that name. Suddenly he comes in front of you, you forget uska naam, arey uska naam kya hai? Arey uska naam kya hai? Uska naam kya hai? Uska naam.
Yes.
Krishan. Yes, Krishan.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you. Krishan and then
Shivam, sir.
Shiva.
Due to ignorance, we are not able to still our mind. That's the biggest problem. Second, the God give us a lot of gift, like nature, like our eyes, our ears. We are not able to gratitude these things. That's why we are not able to think.
Okay, so two important points Krishan is saying. One is we are so ignorant. Actually, what is ignorance? We will have a session on this. What is ignorance? Ignorance is nothing but a product of the mind. Intellect is not ignorant. Consciousness is not ignorant. What is ignorance? Sometimes, if somebody tells you, you want a diamond or you want coal, and you say, I want coal. That means what? It's ignorance. What is the cause of this ignorance? It is lack of intellect. What is the cause of lack of intellect? It is lack of consciousness. What is the cause of lack of consciousness? It is your mind. The mind is unable to make a sensible decision. And the mind is making us a fool. The mind is really making us a big fool and we become ignorant. And what I think Krishan said, the next point, gratitude, I think. Just saying I'm grateful by the mouth is not enough, right? Gratitude must come from the depth. If I am grateful to sit for everything, that should show in my actions. Not just, thank you. I'm great, I'm Sip, I'm so grateful, Sip. What is the use of me saying that? If I am grateful, it should show in my actions. It should show in my life, in my day-to-day life. And back to the main subject, which we should not forget. What is the main subject of today? Why do we sometimes forget what we are thinking? This has led to a very deep subject. Why do we sometimes forget what we are thinking? This makes us realize how our memory is cluttered, how our mind is making us bewkoof, how the mind is making us an idiot, and we are unable to simply remember something small. The mind is a problem, the memory becomes full, the intellect is deactivated, the consciousness is muddled. And then we are in deep trouble. So my friends, this was the subject of today's discussion. I don't know if we have any other. Kailash, before we close, one or two more questions. Kailash, please. Yes, Kailash.
Guruji, my one question is that sharp-minded pupils also go to the psychiatrist. Okay, because they thought in the past or about their future, they are not in the condition of controlling the thoughts. So what to do them? Because every person mind is different from to the another person. If I give you my example, I suggest to many people that you need not to think about the past or these things. This is very simple. But the problem when occurring with me, then I am not able, to forget the things of the past.
You are not able to forget because you are a slave of your thought. You are not in the moment you are able to control thinking. You become a master. You have to work on this. You have to work on this. It's possible to work on it. Today, I'm telling you, Kailash, every day you're coming with the same question in a different way you're asking. But you are not understanding the answer is only one answer. The answer is to stop this damn it thought. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. You know, how many times in life I told myself, hey, stupid, hey, stupid, hey, stupid, hey, stupid, hey, stupid, 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 stupid. I told myself 100 times, still I was not able to overcome my stupidity. But I told I will overcome my stupidity. There is no question. There is no question. I will stop this damn stupidity. This is how you have to be. You have to be committed. Sometimes we are so stupid. We are so stupid. We are doing stupid things. Clearly, we are doing, suppose Kailash, that one shop, it is selling Cadbury's chocolate for 10 rupees, and the same shop, the same Cadbury's chocolate, another shop 50 rupees. We are buying for 50 rupees. Then we are going to the shop for 10 rupees and say, Arey, what am I doing? Yeah? If it's 10 rupees chocolate, I bought 50 rupees. Again, tomorrow, we are going buying same chocolate 50 rupees. Hey, again, you come, I bought full, I bought same chocolate available for 10 rupees, I bought 50 rupees. Again, next day, we are buying same chocolate for 50 rupees.
But sir,
No,
right.
Till you are able to stop the stupidity. I'm giving an example. Please understand the example. You know what I'm talking about. The same problem you are having, you know your problem, you know the cause of the problem, you are suffering because of the problem, but you are not able to stop that. Am I right or am I wrong?
Right, no, you are right. But I am also trying to stop that. But
you have to try much harder. Not little harder. You have to try much harder.
For that, when the thoughts comes, I convert my mind to my goddess. If we talk about the Hanuman, in my picture that so that it will.
Now, in this comment call, we can't get into too much of the thing, but I'm just giving you the small idea. Now you think about it, you WhatsApp me, and I will give you further details on how to do it. So, my dear friends, so we got my line of people. Rumataji, bataiye. Rumataji, Christian, Vijay Kumar, before we close. Rumataji.
Guruji, yesterday as I forgot the answer. If I had noted down at the same moment, then I may not have forgot.
That's why many times what my grandfather told me. My grandfather told me, what my grandfather told me, Rumataji.
Yes,
my
Guruji.
grandfather told me, "Pehle lik, baad mein de. Bhool pade to kagaz se le."
Yes, Guruji, very
Pehle
correct.
lik, baad mein de. Even when my grandfather, when I told my grandfather, you gave me 1,000 rupees, I gave somebody 100 rupees, I forgot who I gave. Then he told me, "Pehle lik, baad mein de. Bhool pade to kagaz se le." Which means there are some olden, there are some methods. But Rumataji, on the spiritual front, we are not talking of these methods.
Yes.
On the spiritual front, like, Kailash was telling us, Kailash is saying, I am suffering because of my mind. Why, Kailash? I myself am telling you, I have suffered so much because of my mind. I have suffered so badly till I was able to absolutely kill my mind and tell my mind, I will put you in the flush. I will put you in the commode and flush you down. So this is the way to do it. Next, Krishan. Krishan?
Sir, it's a suggestion, just a suggestion. When we are reading this book, your book, Enlightenment, my Enlightenment Life book, there's a column at end of the every page. Can we share our thoughts on a WhatsApp group? That what is the purpose of life and
you share to whom? You can share to me. If you like any input, you can share to me.
Everyone, if everyone is sharing their thoughts on WhatsApp group, the conclusion
everybody's life is not same. Everybody's life is different. And by sharing everybody's WhatsApp group, we will confuse everybody. We are not here to confuse everybody. We want clarity. So it is apo dipo bhava. Means you have to light your own light. And you have to share with only a mentor, a master who can guide you.
Okay,
because this is a journey. When I wanted a problem, I didn't go and share in a WhatsApp group. I shared with my master. And my master read and told me, for example, one day I went to the master and told him, I want to kill my ego. Then my master called me and told me, how can you kill the ego? You cannot kill the ego. As long as you are alive, you cannot kill the ego. I asked him to explain to me. Then he explained to me, you can transcend ego. You can go beyond the ego. You can hold the ego, but you cannot kill the ego, because the moment you kill the ego, you are dead. If the ego is dead, you are dead. If you are dead, the ego is dead. If you are alive, ego is alive. You cannot kill the ego. Now, this, if I give in WhatsApp group, nobody will understand this matter. This is a matter of intellectual gymnastics. You need to have only, see, my dear friends, you know, what is the meaning of, sometimes people wonder what are Upanishads. Upanishads is the wisdom imparted by a guru to his followers. It is not, you know, I tell you, why do we need to have the Zoom call? Everybody goes to your house, sits and read all the book. You read Bhagavad Gita, you read Veda, Purana, Upanishad, you will become enlightened. Can you do it? You cannot do it. You read Bible 100 times. Will you be enlightened? No, you cannot do it. You need the spark. You need the spark. And they say, that's why we talked about magic. And not only do you have to have the effort, without the grace of an enlightened master, it is impossible to be enlightened. If I did not have an enlightened master, I would never be enlightened. My master only sent me a quotation once, a small equation, a formula. Man minus self equals God. God plus self equals man. It took me 6 months to understand that equation. It took me 6 months. But when I understood the equation, the light inside came on. Ting tong, ting tong, ting tong. So my dear friends, today's subject, when we are thinking something, we forget it. It only shows the destructive power of the mind. It shows how we are foolishly making wrong decisions. We are killing our life. We are destroying our life. You know something, my dear friends? One of these days we'll have a session. We barely have few thousand days to live. We barely have few thousand days to live. And this life will be over. If we don't get enlightened, if we waste our time, we waste our life, we will come back to suffer. And don't look at your suffering. Look at other people around you who are suffering. You may come back 10 times worse than them. So let us not lose our life in thought. Let us not be destroyed by the mind. And today's session is to make you realize how we get lost in thought. And we forget, our memory gets full, our thought kills our intellectual power and our consciousness. Today is Thursday. Tomorrow we will see you at 7:30. With folded hands, I bow down to you.